It's time for the Tight Five.
The Tight Five.
5 separate sporting topics, roughly a minute or so on each. When the bell goes ding and reminds us, we move quickly on to the next topic. We're going to talk about Mike Cron and Joe Schmidt now. Together again at the Wallabies. Should we be worried about that, Lachlan? Halfbacks for the All Blacks. Roigard gone, Christie, Fakatava. I mean, there is, a list of others who are playing reasonably well. I don't want TJ Pettinara on that list. I don't mean to single him out, but I just don't want him. I just think the All Blacks are going backwards if he ends up wearing an All Black jersey again. The White Ferns are not very good. And thank you so much for Lance Dry, the bravest man in New Zealand sport, the Wellington Blaze coach, for standing up and saying it. He will be censured, no question about it, by New Zealand cricket. Absolutely, he will be told off and told never to make those kind of comments again. How dare you be honest in your assessment of our failing White Ferns side? The Chiefs, the whole country blames you now. Morons, how did you let the Crusaders back into the competition? The Wahs, that's a top 4 side right there, Lachlan. Roger at fullback, that's the best thing I've always argued for that, though, Lachlan. Don't even start me on that. I've always said Roger was a fullback. And I want to talk about Chris Wood as well, because this kind of slips underneath the radar in terms of the Premier League, but his goal-scoring record is something really to celebrate and behold. Let us start, though, with the league over the weekend, because you went to the Warriors. Again, a sellout, and they'll sell out every single game this year. That's 24,000 people or 25,000. And by the way, people, just to let you know, round 4 of the NRL was the most attended round ever. Previous best was round 1 of 2017, I think. No, 2021, make it was. And this particular round, as far as the NRL goes...
Was it 2011?
2011, I'm sorry. Yeah, sorry. 2011, 201,212 fans.
Yeah.
The round that's just been completed, 202,491 fans. So absolutely brilliant for the NRL. An average of over 25,000 a game. You were at the Warriors. Great fun?
Yeah.
Great crowd?
Great crowd. I don't like the Warriors at all. I've never liked the Warriors.
As a team, he's talking about.
As a team, yep. Mm-hmm. And so when I go there, I'm always backing the other team, unless it's the Storm or the Roosters, or at the moment, at this point in time, the Panthers. Actually, no, I'll probably still back the Panthers, to be honest. But I went with my flatmate, who's actually a big Knights fan, so that's why we went. And I said to him a couple of times, they just do it so well. They do these games so well. Just the noise from the crowd. They don't need spurring on from a PA announcer.
So did he calm it down?
He only talked when they scored tries.
So none of this, I say up and you say the way, all of that.
None of that. And this was the first game at Mount Smart.
Okay, well, there you go. That just says to me that feedback works. Because he would have been absolutely dumped on, and so would the Warriors. And we know people who work for the Warriors, and we gave them our thoughts as well afterwards, that just tell him to just lessen it. Yeah. He doesn't need to try and razz a crowd that's already razzed. He'll just annoy people. That's good. I like that in that case.
Yep.
And the crowd stays afterwards?
Yeah, well, funnily enough, I had a couple of beers left, so I just stayed in the stands until I got told to leave. Which is maybe not a great look, to be honest. But no, look, the whole thing's just a lot of fun. My only gripe with it, and it's been my gripe for years, and it's actually, to be honest, the thing with league crowds, just quickly, I'm going on a bit here, that would always fear me when I become a parent, or if I was to take a date or something, is it can be quite a boisterous, intense crowd sometimes, but it actually was quite family friendly. Maybe that's because it was a Sunday afternoon, it was an Easter weekend. But there was a lot of... I love seeing fathers and sons out doing things. There was a lot of fathers and sons. There was a father and son sitting in front of me, and both were fist pumping when the Warriors were scoring tries, which was great. But it's... what was the other point I was going to make? I was going to make another point, then I got diverted from that. But no, it's just a great occasion. It really is a great occasion. My only issue with it is that the stadium is all the way out in Penrose. The Warriors need to be playing in central Auckland. They need to be playing close to bars. Great
text is coming. They obviously listened and removed or reduced the Wah's announcer. Good stuff, Warriors HQ. Exactly right.
Yeah.
The young guy who was doing it was obviously given instructions to start with to really sort of just go overboard. Well, he's pulled it back now. You don't need to hype anything to do with the Warriors. They are their own hype train. Our top 4 side, clearly, and we'll argue about this with Tony as well, after watching that game against the Knights on the back of the win against the Raiders, top 4 side, the Warriors. I think we can both agree with that, Lachlan, right? Straight away.
No, hold up. No, they're not a top 4 side.
Oh, come on. I mean, we'll actually just go back at that again. So the Warriors are definitely a top 4 side now.
No, they're not.
They are a top 4
No, they're not. They are not absolutely, obviously, 100% a top 4 side. What they are is they are in this middle. For me, there's only two. No, actually, I take that back. There's only one team that is 100% genuinely a top 4 side, and that team is the Penrith Panthers. Because they are winning and they are continuing to win, and even when they are down troops, they still win, and they win well. The rest of the premiership, or the rest of maybe the next even 10 teams, you can throw 10 in there, are all battling to be in that top 4 spot. My Broncos included. The Warriors are in there, the Roosters are in there, the Sea Eagles are in there, Parramatta are in there. I'd argue the Raiders are in there. Cronulla maybe to an extent are in there.
They're only one of 3 teams that have won 3 games, the Sharks.
Oh, yeah. I think there's another good team that I'm missing out. Cowboys. The Cowboys are absolutely in there. Look, no one has, aside from Penrith, no one has distanced themselves from the pack. And you can go on and say what you like about how good the Warriors were last year. That doesn't mean anything.
No, it doesn't mean
it means
anything.
absolutely nothing. There are many examples of teams who have been a top 4 side and made the grand final, and the next year they haven't been able to back it up.
Right.
I'm not having a crack at the Warriors. My Broncos could be the same. I mean, we're down a few players. We could lose to Melbourne this weekend and go on a real
he had a great win. He had a bloody great win. I mean, let's be honest about it.
Let's not get carried away. It's a win over a team you should be beating.
The Chiefs, the whole country blames you now for if the Crusaders come back now, it's your fault, right? Let's just establish that clearly now when it comes to the Chiefs. You opened the door. You could have slammed it shut and welded it on them. Instead, you go down there, concede 5 tries. Look, it's not like they struggled to win, Lachlan. They put 37 points on them.
Yeah, scored how many tries? 5?
5.
Yeah. But I mean, look, also, if the Crusaders had lost, they still have this ridiculously easy run coming up by comparison to what they started the year with. So I think
morale, if they were 0-6 with a bye week, by the time it starts again, everyone else is way...
I think 0-5 is just as bad as 0-6. I think 0-5 is just as bad. So I don't know if it really would have... Now, obviously, it makes life harder for the Crusaders, and particularly probably for Rob Penny, who's sitting there going, geez, am I going to get a win at any point? So I don't know if it really makes it. But look, I'll tell you what, the Chiefs have been pretty underwhelming this year. I'm not sitting there thinking they're the juggernaut that everyone expected them to be in pre-season.
I thought so. I thought that they would just bowl this.
So who's that juggernaut right now? It's the Hurricanes, who are getting better by the week.
Cam Roigard then at 9, not for the All Blacks, certainly not for the start of the season. Hopefully he comes back by the end of the season. He's on the end-of-year tour. So the pecking order is Finlay Christie at 1?
Christie, Fakatava, and then for me it would be Cortez Ratama next, but then unless I'm missing someone else, but it'd probably be Xavier Rowe ahead of him because Xavier Rowe starts ahead of Ratama for the Chiefs. Xavier Rowe, that's his name. Yeah.
TJ Perenara, does he come back?
No, I don't want to entertain it. Look, I had a great discussion with I bring him up a lot, my flatmate who loves the sports. We had a great discussion with, I think, my other flatmate and his girlfriend, because they were talking about TJ Perenara one day and whatnot. The thing about older athletes, when they tear their Achilles, sure, they can come back from it, but they are always a shell of themselves. Now, I don't watch a lot of Hurricanes, and I don't really watch a lot of TJ Perenara. And since he's come back from that Achilles injury, he hasn't been terrible. But there is no way that he's going to consistently, week after week, play at such a high level, the high level that Test rugby demands.